So one area of improvement that the city needs is in our green spaces, and specifically the gaps that exist in neighborhoods where they do not have green spaces that they need. There are many underserved communities that deserve and should have green spaces. There's a few ways we can work on this and ways that I will try to work on that. First off, it's connecting with organizations. There's the Parks and People Foundation, and there's also Baltimore Green Space. They often have data on these potential sites where there are gaps in green spaces. And it would be my job to talk to those residents about what they want. I'd also want to review the city's existing plans, work with city council, work with folks like the Recreation and Parks team to look at their strategic plans and how they plan to fill those gaps. We also need to build community support. If we're going to build more green spaces, we need the community's involvement. That means connecting with residents in those target neighborhoods through community associations and meetings. I'd want to find out what types of green spaces people are after. What does that look like? That could be playgrounds, that could be community gardens, that could be pocket parks, that could be urban forests. What are they looking for? Tree canopies, for example. And then we would need to document that community support through surveys or petitions and signatures. This is a process, right? We're talking about it right now, but I want to tell you about what I would do and why I'm doing it. I'd also want to partner with those key organizations that I mentioned. So that's Parks and People Foundation, for instance. Their experience with green spaces when it comes to those projects in Baltimore. There's no reason anyone should do these things by themselves, and there are people that are smarter than me who know what this city needs as it relates to green spaces. They'll also help us with working on acquiring and protecting those open spaces. Tree Baltimore is another one. If you're looking for tree canopies, we'd work with your local Community Development Corporation and Baltimore City's Department of Recreation and Parks to help make that happen. And with everything, it comes down to funding, right? We'd have to identify funding sources. That includes looking at city capital improvement budgets. That means looking at state programs like open space federal grants. That also means looking at community development blocks. There's also EPA grants, etc. And there's also private partnerships, private foundations. For instance, the Chesapeake Bay Trust, local foundations, corporate sponsorships. These could all be ways that I would look into making sure that we can build green spaces where they are needed. But with everything, we have to address the political considerations. There's land ownership issues, there's acquisition issues as it relates to vacant lots, surplus city property, etc. And we also need to do environmental assessments. So look, there's a lot here, I'm talking a lot, but what I'm trying to say here is that there are green space gaps in the city. There are areas in the city that don't get green spaces who need it. There are neighborhoods that deserve parks, deserve playgrounds, deserve tree canopies, deserve urban forests that would be very helpful in building community, growing small businesses, and making sure people feel like they have an ownership stake in their community and that their kids can play somewhere, that they can sit, read a book somewhere. And that's what I really want to focus on as well. I think it is really essential for the health and growth and future of this city. And that's one area I would really focus on.